Oh boy. What a night. Oh, what a night. Taylor Swift looked like she was gonna punch someone, and Selena apparently got told off by Kylie. That's just the drama. What about the opening monologue? Guys, I mean, here's the thing. I have to start by acknowledging this. My dream is to be sitting there with the people. And yet, I am at my grandparents' right now, hanging out with Papo, talking about the Golden Globes, which makes me not part of the elite. So, joke's on me for even talking about any of this. Joke's on any of us because what incredible lives they're living, and it's hysterical to even harp on any of these situations. But I'm going to because I love I can't lie. I love the tea. I love the drama. I love everything about these award shows. And the Golden Globes are never my favorite. I usually love the Oscars, love the Emmys, Emmys being my number one. The Golden Globes tend to get it wrong. And everybody there usually gets really drunk and like kind of parties. So I, you know, you're signing up for like what it is. But last night felt different. Now, I want to start by saying that she says she wants to start by saying, as we're already 2 minutes into the show. By the way, we're going to talk about the Golden Globes today. We're going to talk about the opening monologue. We're going to talk about the best of, the worst of. We're going to talk about some of the speeches, the winners. I also want to talk about Katt Williams because I haven't spoken about that with you guys yet. And there has been, I listened to the 2 hour, 40-minute Shannon Sharp podcast with Katt Williams, and I've been following all of the responses from everybody. Kevin Hart, Ludacris, Joe Rogan, Ricky Smiley, Tiffany Haddish, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, everybody that Katt Williams came for has responded. And I have thoughts on that. So we will talk about that. Plus anything you guys want to. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts. This is the first. Is this the first live stream of the year? Is that possible? Could be, but I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I know I went live on Christmas. Is that the last time I was live with you guys? I know I've been live with my patrons since then. You guys let me know just so much. What's up, Winston? No, I am at my grandparents'. It's kind of a weird shot because this is their living room, and these are all mirrors behind me. I've always thought it was kind of cool. They're like tinted mirrors in here, which is nice. You can kind of see. And that mirror behind me, it looks like that's a window, but it's a mirror, and a window's across from me. That's where I'm getting my light from. I'm here right now because Grammy is getting she's macro degeneration, so she gets shots in the eyes. But Papa right now has bed sore at the bottom of his foot, so he can't go with Grammy. So somebody's bringing Grammy while I'm here with Puppo. We just had ice pops together, and I had a chocolate pretzel, and it was delicious. Okay, let's jump into it. My loves. Let's talk Golden Globes. So here is the truth. I think hosting this show as a comedian is a very challenging job. I think that is a challenging job hosting the show in general. We expect comedians to be funny. The writer's strike went for so long that they didn't have somebody signed on to this until 2 weeks ago. So many of the top comedians turned this down. Joe Coy accepted it, but he said that it was only 2 weeks notice. So his back was against the wall a little bit. It's obviously a lot of people's dreams to host a show like this. It's a really big deal, big night in Hollywood. But did he have as much time as he probably wanted or needed to get the jokes perfect? No. I don't think that, yeah, I don't think he was set up for success in this moment. That being said, do I think he knocked it out of the park? I do not. And here's what I know as a stand-up comedian. That's a joke. I did one time. I hosted a stand-up show. I'm not even going to call it a tight five. It was probably more like a loose four. So that was a big joke. But here's what I know from hanging out with all of my friends or stand-ups, Winston included. Mark Ellis, Christian Harloff, Brett Sheridan, Kate Mulligan, Tehran, who's been on the show a couple of different times. Uh, Legitimately, almost all of my friends are stand-up comedians. You don't bail the way that Joe Coy bailed last night. Like the way that he just kept throwing the writers under the bus and kept bailing in the middle of his jokes was bizarre. It didn't work. And even if he was like, I wasn't, at one point he's like, you guys laughed at my jokes. I know you're not right laughing at the joke writer's jokes, but you laughed at my jokes. So my jokes were the funny one. You chill with the blaming. It's not working. And as a stand-up, I think he needed to pivot at some point. Be self-deprecating. Make fun of yourself. This isn't going as I thought. Whatever, if you want to pivot, but don't just keep blaming everybody else. I didn't get this job quickly. Whatever. Like, I'm not saying that this was entirely his fault, but with the cards that he was handed, I thought he could do a better job. I don't know him as a stand-up particularly well. In fact, I had never heard of him until he was dating Chelsea Handler. And so I know nothing about him. This is the first time I've ever seen him do a set. Literally the only time I've ever seen him is on Chelsea Handler's Instagram. So I know nothing about him. But this was not it. It just wasn't. And in a world where I believe representation matters, and I think that taking this gig, probably meant a lot to him and a lot of people, I just wish it went a little better. I wish that he didn't bail, and I wish he didn't throw people under the bus, but I can't entirely blame him. There was an entire effing strike going on. And this is why so many comedians don't want this job in general. What do you guys think? Do you think he was the right person for this job? Do you think that he handled it as best as he could? Do you want to see more comedians in the future, or would you like to see a major pivot go down with who it is that hosts award shows? I think it was Michael Che that I saw say that they should hire magicians, which I think he was joking, but is actually a really funny concept. And there are people that can host that aren't comedians that are legitimate, like their job is being a host. Might they do a good job at this? Might a magician do a good job at this? Do we have more options than we've been realizing? Let me know. Let's head over to the Streamlabs, see what it is you guys are talking about in there. Thank you so much for being here today. We are a completely fan-funded show. The only reason I'm able to do Live with Roxy is because of you guys. So thank you to people like Mike Joyce for being our first Streamlabs of the day. He said, I heard a lot of people sing his praises before. I saw him host last night. I'd say Joe Coy wasn't terrible, but I'm not going to check out any of his stuff anytime soon. I think that's fair. Wait. What? No. Oh my God, guys. How am I in here twice? No, no. Here I am. Guys, the craziest shit just happened on my end. It said that I left StreamYard, but I never left StreamYard. And then I kept saying hi, and then it was, could you hear double me? That was so weird. Anyway, it wouldn't be a Roxy stream unless there was some kind of tech issues. Also, my grandparents don't have the best internet, so let me know if you can see me, hear me, all of that stuff. Sean Quinn says Katt Williams should host. It would be more entertaining. We can't pretend it wouldn't be. So that. Oh, and since his most recent stand-up on Netflix is hysterical, which is why this was so bizarre. I never watched it, so I don't know. That's interesting, though. I take your word for it that it was funny. I would love to see what he can do when he is more prepared. Maybe he's excellent. Stryer Stan in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, Team Stryer, hey Roxy, I'm a huge fan of yours. I think you're wonderful. The Golden Globe should hire you to host and give you the award for Best Actor. I think that, of course, I would never be asked to do this, maybe in 10 years from now. Of course, I would say yes if I was asked, because what a dream. But it is extremely intimidating to be in front of a room full of your peers who are judging you and don't want to be made fun of, even though they pretend that they're cool with it. This is why we get moments like the Will Smith slap. Artists are extremely sensitive, extremely emotional. And while they want to see an entertaining show, they want the finger to be pointed at everybody but them. To me, if I was ever invited to one of these things and a host said my name, I would be like, oh my God, I've made it. Like, I'm somebody they're speaking about at the Globes. fucking crazy. I don't even care how much they dig at me. But these people are so famous that they don't need that kind of attention. So we're going to get things like that moment where Joe Coy kind of made a little dig at Taylor Swift, which, to be honest, I didn't think was that much of a dig. He said that we have fewer shots of Taylor Swift. That's the difference between Golden Globes and the NFL, which to me wasn't that bad, but Taylor looked fucking pissed. She sapped her drink. She sipped on her drink and I was like, whoa. I didn't think that was a funny joke, but I didn't think it was really like a jab at her. And she seemed fucking pissed. She seemed pissed. There was other moments that I thought were really cute. In general, it was kind of lackluster, but Ali Wong kissing Bill Hader before she won for Beef, really cute. I really like Ali Wong. I think she is one of the funniest working comedians. Her and Bill Hader have been pretty private, them sharing that little kiss, and then her winning. Mwah. And she deserved it. She's so fucking good in it. Kylie and Timothy shared a kiss as well. Here's some tea. Here's the drama that people are saying. Who knows if this is true or if this is not true? But apparently, Selena, who used to work with Timothy, Selena Gomez, went over to Timothy to ask for a picture. And then I guess Kylie said no. And then Selena, again, this is rumored, Selena went over to Taylor Swift, hugged her, and gave her the tea. Like Kylie said, I couldn't take a picture with Selena, thinking it might be because Selena's good friends with Kylie's good friends with the Hadids or somebody who doesn't like, with Hailey Bieber, who doesn't like, and Hailey Bieber has beef, and Selena maybe have beef, something like that. Trying to keep up with the drama. Who knows if any of this actually went down, but Mike, I don't know when Timothée Chalamet and Selena Gomez worked together, but I saw a picture of them on set together, and people had said that, so it must have been, I don't know, it could be a music video or a TV thing or something a while ago. Sam said, I heard about the Selena Kylie drama. Is that real? I have no idea. Could completely not be real, but people said that they heard them say it or saw them say it or whatever. I don't know. That would be bizarre. That would be bizarre if she had said you can't take a picture with him. I can't really picture that, but maybe that happened. Who the fuck knows? I think it's really cute that Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift are best friends. Yeah, Winston, the Taylor Swift joke was fine. But also, like you said, after the Barbie joke, people were down when he's like, you took a movie about a plastic doll with big boobies. I was like, why do we give Oppenheimer its flowers, but Barbie we just are subjecting to jokes about boobies? Just so bleh. Yeah, Sina Ali Wong and Bill Hader are dating. Yes. So that, I thought it was really funny when Kieran Culkin told Pedro Pascal to suck it. See, Pedro was a good sport and he like pretended to, but that was fucking funny. Good moment. Jennifer Lawrence going directly to camera and saying, if I don't win, I'll leave. Fucking funny. I'm so hard on the Jennifer Lawrence train. It is insane. I love her. Billie Eilish in her speech talking about depression. I think it's always really valuable when these celebs open up and talk about their depression and what is going on in their personal lives. So I appreciated that. My favorite speech of the night was Io's. I love her. She does Boston so proud. She's from Dorchester, and she is one of the most talented working actresses. I saw her in like 15 things this year. She is booked and busy, but winning for The Bear, which is such a great show, and Jeremy Allen White also winning, and her thanking her manager and agent assistants was iconic. But my favorite part of the whole thing is when she's like, if I forgot to thank you, I'm sorry. Unless you were mean, and then whatever. Peace. I love her. Just fucking love her. A true legend. Also loved Bruce Springsteen being fangirled over by Yorgos. I love Yorgos. I still haven't seen Poor Things, but The Lobster was one of my favorite movies that came out of that year. I loved Favorite. I'm sure I'm gonna love Poor Things. I also really like Emma Stone, but Yorgos just stopping and being like Bruce Springsteen. You guys know he's my number one. If I ever meet him, I feel like I'll just melt into a puddle. And so that is exactly what I would do. We were all Yorgos in that moment, or at least I was. Nice to hear Lily's speech from Killers of the Flower Moon opening up in Blackfeet. That was really cool. And, really doing it for her people and talking about having this be for every kid who ever grew up on a reservation. Really excited to see more Indigenous people get the spotlight and projects being made about reservations. I loved Reservation Dogs this year. And there has been just more representation for Indigenous people across television and movies, which is wildly important. We've already taken fucking enough from them. Time to give some back. Brie Larson fangirling over J-Lo. If you guys didn't see this on the carpet, it was so cute. Brie Larson's getting interviewed. She sees J-Lo. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's J-Lo, it's J-Lo, it's J-Lo, it's J-Lo, it's J-Lo. She's like, J-Lo, you're the reason I got into acting. I love you so much. And J-Lo was like tearing and she was daring. They hugged. It was fucking cute. How do you not fangirl over when you see J-Lo? I mean, J-Lo is like the queen. It's even if she's not your number one, it's like they're Meryl Streep, J-Lo. There are people who are just bigger than life, and J-Lo is one of them, really and truly. So those were some of the moments that stood out to me at the Golden Globes. What about you guys? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What were your Golden Globes thoughts? Do you think that Joe Coy did as bad of a job as a lot of people are saying? Do you think that he doesn't deserve this kind of heat? Who would you like to see host the Globes or award shows in general? What was your favorite moment of the night? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Get in your questions, comments, concerns. Cinema fans. Why couldn't I read the word cinema? Cinema fan 324 says, loved by a butterfly, stung by a bee. Did somebody say Muhammad Ali's quote wrong? I missed that, if that did happen. Loved by a butterfly is interesting. I wonder what that would feel like. That is fascinating. In the Streamlabs, Bobby Jackson, what's up, Bobby? You're amazing, says, Happy New Year. Didn't get a chance to tell you at the time, but you did a fantastic job hosting the comedy show. Also, just how sure are you that those aren't two-way mirrors behind you? That would be wild because my grandparents live in a condo. So this is actually the wall of the condo next door. So if they could just see me right now, they've seen a lot of shit. What's up? They moved in only a couple of years ago, and they've been very private, keep to themselves. So I don't think it is. But if it is, mwah, hope you enjoyed us. Nothing to hide here. Although that would be creepy deepy. You guys want to see something beautiful, though? I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but let me clear this off and turn you guys. This is out their window. Oh, you can kind of see. It's just really pretty. The mountains. I love the mountains. I love the rolling hills. It's a song we used to sing in Girl Scouts. Okay, so thank you for that question, Bobby. Now I'm going to be wondering for the rest of my life if these are two-way mirrors. And I think that the answer to that is no, but who is truly to say? Okay, get in your Streamlabs about the Golden Globes. If you guys want to talk more about it, I'm going to take 15 seconds to check on Puppo and make sure that he's okay. Just looking in to see, because just making sure. And then I'll be back with you guys. When I come back, we'll talk anything, the rest of Golden Globes. And then we need to talk about what's going on with the Katt Williams responses. I listened to all 2 hours and 40 minutes of Katt Williams on Shannon Sharpe. And I have so many thoughts on that. Oh boy. Okay. 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13. How are you doing, Papa? Okay. You need anything, honey? You need anything? You want to scooch back in your chair a little bit? Looks like you're sliding. Let me help you.
No, I'm just moved like this.
But Papa, you're sliding way too low. You're going to slip right out. Honey, will you sit back a little bit for me?
I really don't want to.
Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes and I'm gonna move you a little further back. Is that okay? Papa, look at how you are. You're lying.
I know, I'm comfortable.
I know, but remember the other day, honey, you slipped onto the ground. We had to have the firemen come and pick you up.
So I won't do that.
Okay, let me put some. If you just push back a little bit, I think it will be helpful. My Papa, what happened to trusting me?
It has nothing to do with trusting you.
Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll see how it's going, okay? Make sure you're staying upright, okay?
No,
No, that you don't slip this way, okay?
I'm not slipping that way.
You promise me?
Yes.
Okay, I love you. Okay, I lied about the 15 seconds. We had a little snafu. Okay, can't be here that much longer, but can be here right now. And here I am for now. So, okay, just get your Streamlabs in. Let's talk a little. Cowboy said that was fun to hear. You could hear that? Oh my God. Hearing the family drama is so relatable. Oh my God. Probably should have muted. He like slips in his chair. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. So here's what happened. There was an interview on Shannon Sharp show, in case you didn't know, with Katt Williams, who decided to air, I'm going to say not the tea, but his tea on so many different comedians. He talked about actors, comedians, podcasters. He talked about Ludacris, Joe Rogan, Ricky Smiley, Tiffany Haddish, who Tiffany Haddish he's spoken about many times before, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Kevin Hart. He just was going about everybody, and some of those people are responding now. And it was, you guys heard all of that, sorry. Okay, it was wild. It was truly, truly wild to hear, because I felt bad for everybody involved. It's like, on one hand, I understand where Katt Williams is coming. He doesn't want everybody to just, like, I guess, be able to say anything they want about him or just be unchecked. But at the same time, you deciding, hold on. Oh my God, sorry guys. You okay, Papa? What's going on? Trying to sit back further? Okay, how can I help you? One second. Okay, here. Keep going back a little bit more. Yeah, just a little more, Papa. 1 second, let me get the door. Hold on. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You too. You good, Papa? You all set right now? Okay, let's just leave your foot down for a little bit like that. Okay? You need anything, honey? Another popsicle? Okay. You want to put your leg right there? You're good for now? All right, I'll be back in 10 minutes, okay? Love you. Sorry, oh my God. Just making you guys wait. So, okay. He was slipping and then he decided to move and I could hear him moving. Anyway, we're all okay right now. But in terms of I haven't eaten other than the popsicle and the pretzel today either. It's just all jumbled, scrambled eggs and bacon. So in terms of what he had to say about people, I've been looking at the responses, and I'm curious if this changes your guys' opinion on what it was that he initially did say, and how you guys feel about the fact that he's talking about everybody. because it's divisive right now. Some people are like, yeah, air it. If it's true, then it's true. And Katt Williams is not known as being a liar. And some people are like, why are you doing this, especially calling out so many people in your own community, the Black comic community? Like he's really, while he did say stuff about Joe Rogan and some other people as well, really he's talking mostly about Black comedians. And I think that people are having a hard time with that. So I'm obviously not the person to speak on that, but just that's some of the feedback that I am hearing towards him. Okay, here's what he said on Kevin Hart. He said, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him, ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? So this was interesting because it felt like maybe the least of the provoked one to me at the time, because I didn't know anything about the drama between Katt and Tiffany, and we know that Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish are really, really close. And so I think that this was partially in response to that, because Kevin Hart previously had come out and said, Kevin Hart had come out and spoken about Katt Williams, and he had said that on the Breakfast Club, he had said that studios didn't want to work with him anymore because he chose drugs. So now it feels a little less unprovoked because it seems like there's been a lot of back and forth going on. But Kevin then responded to what Katt said, and he tweeted out and said, "Gotta get that anger up out ya, champ. It's honestly sad. In the meantime, please enjoy my movie trailer to my next film, Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix in 8 days. There's a moment in the trailer where and then tags one of the actors, says, they really love you. I now know she's talking about Katt. Mark your calendars, world. This one's special." And so we know it's specifically that's about Katt, which is just further fueling the beef, not to borrow from the Golden Globes show that won many awards, but this is beef. It made me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable to know this back and forth. I know that Kevin and Tiffany are close. To call somebody out for being on drugs, I think is really problematic unless you are absolutely positive. And even then, I don't know that it's ours to really share, but a lot of people have gone out and said that Katt Williams is on drugs and been on drugs for years. Katt has adamantly denied that and just said he smokes weed, which of course is a drug in the way that alcohol is a drug, but is a legal drug, and not what it is that people are referencing. So a little bit scary, or not scary as much as eek. Ludacris handled it a little differently. Here's what Katt Williams said about Ludacris. He claimed that he and Luda were both up for the role in the 2001 John Singleton film Too Fast, Too Furious, and that Luda was amenable to demands about his haircut. He specifically mentions it. And then Ludacris' relatively small part in that movie led to a role in a hugely lucrative ongoing franchise. I think that he said that they were going to pay him $200 million, $20 million over 10 films, which is what he has done. And Williams said that establishment-friendly Black figures are given a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife, and that Ludacris is one of those people. I thought that was really disrespectful to say about another person's wife. And to be perfectly honest, if you listen to the entire interview, especially towards the end, Katt Williams says some pretty sexist things, and borderline some homophobic things as well, or at least things that don't seem to be showing that he has an understanding of the queer community or an appreciation. Like he really threw some things out there that I was like, ugh, I wish you didn't phrase it like that. I also just like, in my own opinion, Ludacris's wife seems like she has the same skin tone as him, and additionally, I would not call her ugly. I think she's really pretty. So, not that that's the point, but to call another man's wife light-skinned and ugly is so rude. And that was one of my least favorite insults he threw. Say what you want about Ludacris if you want, but talking about his wife, I thought that was fucked shit. Ludacris responded in a 1-minute video that he posted on social media where he rapped over Kanye West, which was my favorite choices, Devil in a Blue Dress, instrumental, and fired back. Here's what the lyrics were. Obviously, I won't rap them. Never been Illuminati, only Luda naughty, and I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton, you never have to flex. When you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks, Afro with the sideburns, yeah, that's my signature. Addictions on the rise. Comedians, check your temperature. By the way, Lude is actually a fire rapper, but another person saying that Katt's an addict. Yeah, just okay. Joe Rogan, Katt said, Joe don't want me on there. Joe got 6 comedians that ain't never been funny that he wants to push out. Joe responded to that on Twitter or on X. He said, I love Katt. He's one of my favorite comics, and I'd love to have him on. We talk about him all of the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen. So I have a big feeling that we're going to see Katt on Joe, even though Katt doesn't make his rounds very often. Seems like that would be a natural next step. But how long are we going to see this kind of back and forth? There was responses also from Ricky Smiley. He really tried to take the high road, it seems, with this one. This is coming from the Shade Room. Let's see exactly what they said about it. A comedian claimed that Ricky was bitter while they were filming over Katt's Money Mike role. This alleged bitterness extended to Ricky deciding to watch the film at home rather than at its premiere. Katt added that Ricky Smiley told people he stole the role to get his name in the same sentence with a great one. He called the alleged situation sad. Quote, he told everybody it should have been my role, everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member ever said anything? End quote. Meanwhile, in response to Katt, Ricky Smiley swore he went to Los Angeles to audition for Money Mike role. He said, quote, I had no reason to go on Shannon Sharp show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for. I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to the character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier because ain't no way in hell I could have executed that role like that. And I'm glad they made that decision. And they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. Which is kind of a nice way to respond. As the interview continued, Williams dropped a little tea that Hollywood has never heard in a million years. He alleged that he negotiated a contract specifying that role Ricky Smiley was limited to. Quote, he was so egregious, not now, then that, and Hollywood has never heard this in a million years. He was so egregious. I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? What is next Sunday? Did he wear a dress in that? You bet he did. It's in my contract. So, and then when Shannon asked him to clarify why he would do that, he said that's where he's the believable actor, which again seemed like a weird shot. I just don't know why he would take that shot. Just kind of meh. And then in response to that, Ricky Smiley said, it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. I respect Katt, definitely disappointed that you have to get on air and explain something like that. And then he added that all of his comedy shows have been packed since 1997. This in particular was in response to Katt Williams saying that he's not funny. Despite Katt's comments, Smiley added that it's all love on his side. And yeah, it's like, it just seemed really, really eek. What do you guys think? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. It was entertaining as hell, but it also felt like I was listening to a family fight at Thanksgiving and shit that maybe I shouldn't know about. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Ash says, wait, I missed a debacle. Damn it. Too busy hanging out with my cousins I haven't seen in a couple of years, getting ready for a wedding, and video chatting my house sitter whenever I get a minute. It's 4:30 a.m. here. Learning everything I can from thumbnails and headlines. I have no idea what the heck went down. I'm going to rewatch your video to get all the tea when I have stable internet again. Well, thank you for trusting me to give you the tea. It must be very isolating to not know what exactly went down. And I still would love to hear from you guys. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. We'll continue to talk a little bit about Tiffany Haddish, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and their responses. But before I do that, We're checking on Papa really quick. Let's see how it's going. Hey, Papa. How you doing, babe? Oh, let's put something new on for you, honey. What do you want to do? Well, first we've got to get the right remote. And let's see. Okay. Here we go. All pictures big and small and masterpiece. What we got in 10? I love you. Good thing. I'd be so sad if you did it. Oh, thank goodness for Masterpiece Theater. And thank goodness for you guys for waiting for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me know what thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, Streamlabs. Get them in. We won't be here for much longer. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What you got, pretty people? Pretty ricker. Okay, so let's see. When it comes to Tiffany Haddish, I guess that they have had issues for a long time, but Tiffany Haddish, I don't know her personally, and I actually have a lot of friends who are friendly with her, and they say that she's great. But there are a lot of people in Hollywood who have seemed to come for Tiffany Haddish at different times. And it's hard with all these comedians because they put themselves out there. So all of them have been come for at different times, right? And additionally, all of them have come for other people. So it's hard to know who's telling the truth in these scenarios. I don't even know if anybody's ever lying in the scenarios, or if it's just more like subjective. So Tiffany Haddish said, I'm not mad. I just wish he would get his facts right about me, because he was talking about how she never was at the Comedy Store. She wasn't allowed to perform at the Comedy Store. And she said she wasn't allowed to perform on white comics nights or white audience nights, that she went for black comics nights, black audience nights. But he had said she was never allowed there. She said, I'm not mad. I just wish he would get his facts right about me. Dang, I guess I will send him a reminder text. But are we sure that is Katt Williams? He looks a lot like Charleston White. And I thought that this was exactly how you would expect her to respond. Kind of taking a little bit of a jab, but also taking it in stride. And yeah, I mean, it's like kind of a weird reference, but I think that she was annoyed that he's calling her out, saying that she's never been was never at the store, and she was at the store. So yeah, this is what TMZ said. Long story short, Katt said in a recent doc made about famous Comedy Store in LA had suggested that several black comedians, including Tiffany Haddish, had performed there over the years. But Katt Williams insisted that simply isn't true, and she'd never gotten on stage there. Well, Tiffany had something to say about that during her Thursday set, when she rattled off a lot of shows and movies she's been in and how long she's been honing her craft. Not the first time that they've kind of gone back and forth a little bit. That was Tiffany's response. What do you guys think about that? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Do you think that, why do you think that if she had been at the store, why is he saying that? Was he not informed about it, or what? Okay, let's go over to Steve Harvey, who was also who Katt Williams also was talking about, which is kind of wild. Okay, let's see. Was it about joke stealing stuff? Did Steve Harvey steal jokes? Katt Williams and Mark Curry say yes. So the internet dug up these receipts. This is coming from The Root. I hate talking about joke stealing because so many comedians have been accused of it. And it's like, at the end of the day, you just don't know what happened. Did somebody on purpose steal somebody's joke? Did they come to a set, not realize they were stealing a joke, and it planted a seed? Did they just have the same fucking ideas? And so it's tough to go down that path. I really don't know. Yeah, the Steve Harvey wig story was interesting. I also don't feel like it's necessary to out people for things like that, but I guess if that's what you want to do, then okay. let's see. Okay, this is now in Business Insider. Speaking on Club Shay Shay podcast, Williams accused Harvey of copying elements of Mark Curry's sitcom Hanging with Mr. Cooper while developing the Steve Harvey show. Quote, the same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Williams said Cooper's sitcom ran for 5 seasons on ABC, 92 to 97. Harvey's sitcom aired between 96 and 2002, now defunct WB network. Williams added that Harvey wasn't talented enough to become a movie star. He said, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asked for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head. I don't think, when I first started hosting back in the day, I remember one time I made fun of somebody's looks from the Real World or from the challenge, and she saw it and she commented, like, I think I said that I actually don't even want to, but like something about her teeth wrote in something. Anyway, saw it and she like messaged me and was like, I was so sad to hear you commenting on another person's looks. This was 14 years ago. It's stuck with me ever since because why would you ever comment on somebody's looks like that? Like, unless we're talking about their performance looks, they've got a role and they're talking about how it looks in the movie or the show. It's just so fucking unnecessary to comment on somebody's looks, to comment on somebody's wife's looks, to comment on their looks. It just is so beneath anybody that really bothered me that he did that. And it's just rude and doesn't make them look bad. It makes you look bad, Katt. So I'm not saying you don't feel that way. I'm not calling it a lie to you, but just feels really, really like a cheap shot, unnecessary. What do you guys think? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you for hanging in with me, even though I keep going to check on Papo. I appreciate you guys. Send in any last minute Streamlabs. We are getting out of here in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Golden Globes. I wanted to talk about the Katt Williams interview on Shannon Sharpe and all the responses to it. I'm sure we'll be talking about it more. We'll be live for World Girls. I bet it comes up then. Steph's the one who pointed it out to me, and we've been just going back and forth about all the stuff. Really, truly wild child. So yeah, thanks for letting me talk about those things. And thanks for being here and allowing me the space to talk about things that are important to me and not have to make jokes about Barbie's boobies, because that makes you guys unique. If you're watching this after the fact and you want to support, remember we are a fully fan-funded show, which means I'm only here as long as you guys allow me to be. So if you send in Streamlabs, wow, these pimples are getting really bad here. Why? I got my first facial and then it resulted in that. Maybe that happens sometimes. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in and help to fund the fan-funded show that is Live with Roxy. And it's so funny, you guys can see all my notes and all my stuff. Good thing I didn't have anything bad on there. Okay, stay safe, stay safe. Put down this toilet seat and lid. We don't want those buffoons. Don't turn with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. What's going on in Iran right now, if you're not educating yourself, is so wildly fucked up and sad every single time that I see another person struggling, going through. This one woman this week with all the lashings. It's just fucking horrifying. Golden sparkles for the Zen one himself, Glenn Caesar. We love you. Hoping that somewhere you're spreading your golden sparkles. We're thinking about you. And to everybody here, thank you for being here. Happy New Year. We'll do more New Year content coming up just because I want to learn from you guys what it is you're trying to do this year, what you're hoping for on this show this year and in general and all that. So much love to you guys. And I will see you sometime this week for Live with Roxy.